other people make. Maybe they're bad decisions that on the surface don't maybe seem like they were bad decisions, but then once you start to see them unfold and take root, that things go really bad. Hey, Mrs. Duck, my first internet daughter. Actually, bad decision was to become um, internet dad at scale. If you were not on the stream last Thursday in the Thinkubator, Mrs. Duck became my first adopted internet daughter, and so now I'm an internet dad at scale. I'm still not sure what that means, but lots of people are now writing me saying you're my dad now, which is an internet thing, I think. Mr. C Sharp's good at making bad decisions. Throw some out there, folks. What are help everyone with their problems? That's a bad decision, right? Is to just to dive right in and be like, I know what to do. Allow me to help you. Help everyone with their decisions, with their problems, right? Yep. And let's see. Oh, Little B Fat Brain. Your entire relationship with whipped cream. That one might be an interesting one to delve into further, but let's just say whipped cream relationships. And what we mean by that is whipped cream relationships with whipped cream. I think you know what we're talking about. I mean, I hope I know what we're talking about. Bad decision. Mrs. Duck, thank you for jumping in. Falling in love with someone else while in a relationship. Ooh, spicy. Spicy. Falling in love while in love, right? Ooh, tough one. That is a bad decision. All right, let's see. Talon. C Sharp made the bad decision of saying APB Reloaded is a good game. Hey, look, you guys want to get your sort of personal beefs out here? That's fine. I don't mind. That's what we do. We're just here to grease the wheels for you. But maybe you guys need to sort that out together. You, Jaco, good morning and welcome back. Moonlighting until 2 a.m. Okay, so moonlighting already is probably a bad decision. But if you're doing it into the wee hours, moonlighting till 2 a.m. I hope it was a good project. I hope you got it done. Dave on Base 32, welcome back, my friend. Buying a house from a house flipper. Ooh, is that something you're? Oh boy, house flip purchase. Yikes! I can only imagine the stories that those walls can tell. Mr. C Sharp, Talon made a bad decision of saying APB is a bad game. Did we already do that one? No, you guys are having this fight right here in this chat. What's going on? Sort this out, gentlemen, gentle folk. Gentle persons. Mrs. Duck is just commenting with you, Jaco. God damn, I love when you guys start talking to each other. That's what Imagivate Live. That's where the magic happens. All right, so we and Mr. C Sharp made the bad idea of only waking up at 10 a.m. today. Oops, bad decision. Bought a faulty alarm clock. Don't know how to use your phone. Work too much. Support Sidecar, good morning. Eating an entire White Castle crave case at 2 a.m. Hey, were you with you, Jaco, last night? I wonder if moonlighting into a crave case. Crave cases, by the way, folks, are like, a dozen hamburgers in... they're smaller hamburgers. They're little steamed bun burgers, and man, are they really good. I actually have a bad decision story about White Castle. I knew someone who, with 3 other people, they bought a gross of White Castle hamburgers and ate them all in one session. Bad decision. All right. Thank you, gang. That's a really, really great running start to the morning. I like it. I like you. I like where we're headed. So let's get right down to business. First of all, congratulations to 79 Seconds, the recipient of yesterday's most terrible idea. I hope you were here with us when we were doing Whose Tagline Is It Any Wednesday on Tuesday. That's our new show. We do every Tuesday morning. We had our friend Thoughtworst. Don't know if Thoughtworst has made it in today or not, but Matt Bledsoe jumps in on every Tuesday morning where we just come up with terrible taglines. So I hope you joined us. And if you didn't, you can come pick up next week. But 79 Seconds. Don't want to give away their identity, but probably one of the best copywriters I know. Coming in here every morning. Glad to have him. And this was the terrible idea. The tagline for the NFL during COVID: pass. Nicely done. Most terrible idea of yesterday. All right. Where are we headed this week? Well, really exciting things are happening. I've been pretty lucky to get amazing guests coming on at least once a week. We're actually going to start maybe moving that even at a more rapid pace. I love having other folks on the stream to be able to kind of chat and talk, and I'm really looking forward to having Kristen Houston. She's going to be joining us tomorrow morning. And she and I were having a conversation yesterday about what we might be exploring terrible idea territory-wise, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So I hope that you will join us then. And then tomorrow night, I want to make sure everybody's hip to the fact that we do a very different kind of vibe on Thursday evenings. It's called the Thinkubator. Last week was hugely interesting, and I don't need to go through all the details of that again, but Ujako, Dave on bass, Creighton JK, and others jumped in and made some real progress on our long-form terrible idea, real actual people Royale, the 100-player in-person Battle Royale card game. And we're working on that together in a longer format. It's a little bit more conducive to the Twitch vibe. Come join us tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 12:30. That's 12:30 p.m. in Brussels, if you're joining us from Brussels. Okay, well, let's shift gears a bit. I asked you to think about bad decisions to start this off, and we saw a few more come over here. Oh my God, a White Castle Crave case has 30 hamburgers in it. Support sidecar. Good Lord. Getting married at the age of 16, Ujako, another bad decision. Folks, bad decisions are all around us, but what I really wanted to explore together, we talk about terrible ideas, and I know we're starting to form our sort of understanding of what a terrible idea is and isn't. Why do we want terrible ideas? Why terrible ideas are important as a catalyst to getting to great ideas, why sometimes terrible ideas actually come to life because what was terrible about them actually just was a risk that was well mitigated, or it was the right thing to do for somebody that wanted to make a disruption in a marketplace or in an entertainment space. And so terrible ideas are important, but what's the difference between a terrible idea or a bad decision? So what I wanted to do is, before we start doing a little bit of imagivating, I just wanted to kind of go through a few things, like, and if you would throw out your thoughts on this. I'll try and keep up as quickly as I can as the ideas are flowing. But Blockbuster Video, terrible idea or bad decision? I think, when you think about the collapse of this giant, it was likely more bad decisions along the way than bad ideas, terrible ideas, right? That they, in fact, I think they were probably slow to move to even adopt some of the stuff that was happening competitively. But I would argue one of the reasons for the demise was probably one of the most terrible ideas of all time. Imagine that you are, a Netflix founder, and you're trying to raise funds for this kind of startup, and you're saying, like, I'm going to combat the big video rental place by having people wait 2 to 3 days to get the movie that they want. I'm going to eliminate instant gratification from this consumer experience, and people are going to have to choose their thing and wait for it to come in the mail. You may not even remember this, but before Netflix was a streaming service, they were sending you hard discs in the mail. So, but of course, as we know, Netflix became a major success, destroyed a Blockbuster, and along the way made good decisions to pivot off of the things that were antiquated as they began to, embrace new technologies and new opportunities. So, yeah, and I miss video rentals too, Mrs. Duck. There's something about the serendipity of wandering into a store and finding something you maybe hadn't realized. It was an interesting discovery mechanism. Jar Jar Binks, terrible idea or bad decision? Terrible idea or bad decision? This could go either way. Shepherd Josh ringing in with reopen Blockbuster Videos around the country during these unprecedented times. That is a terrible idea, but that could be a really big comeback opportunity for Blockbuster. Of course, if everything gets shut down again, then, sorry guys, roll those dice. I've always wondered about Jar Jar Binks. I probably a terrible idea, right? George Lucas's universe was full of terrible ideas, naming things like Chewbacca, right? And you could probably go through the prequels and get to all kinds of terrible ideas. the question of whether or not this was a bad decision. I mean, obviously, it didn't hurt the success of these movies. Jar Jar Binks became a really interesting, contentious talking point. I think a bad decision is a lot of what happened in the sequels, and hopefully I'm starting to kind of push on people's buttons with this, but like in the Last Jedi, the Canto Bight planet where they had to like this B storyline where they had to go free slave horse marsupial horse creatures. Just bad decision, right? I don't know. This is so. Look, I didn't come in here pre-programmed with a point of view. I want us to stimulate the conversation around this because this is where I think we can get to the heart of terrible ideas. Dr. Javasaurus, welcome and welcome. You're new to the stream. Glad to have you here. Jar Jar depends. They really redeemed his character in later novels. Interesting. So in the expanded universe and maybe now in the canon universe, it'd be interesting to find out exactly where that is. And you believe Jar Jar fits perfectly in the comic relief but important character lineage. Same like Yoda. Interesting. And they did dumb him down way too far. Well, that's an interesting point of view. And I would say that maybe terrible idea executed as part of the universe with a vision. Maybe not such a bad idea. Keeping Jar Jar from becoming a Sith Lord was a terrible idea. Yeah, man. And wasn't that a thing that was going around for a while that people were, there was the rumor was that Jar Jar was going to come back in Revenge of the Sith or something, which would have been great. And Dr. Javasaurus, further elaborating on the expanded universe, I would welcome continued chat enumeration of the Jar Jar theories, but there's nobody can argue how terrible the sequels were. So when we think about brands, we talked about this once long ago on the stream. This was, if you weren't familiar with this was Kendall Jenner in a very tone-deaf TV spot for Pepsi. Obviously, it got all of the backlash that it deserved. But this is another one of those things was like, man, was this a terrible idea or a bad decision? I think this is probably a little bit of both. But can you imagine? I mean, it was tone deaf then 2 years ago or whatever when it came out. Can you imagine if they released it right now? That would be a colossal fail. But continuing on this idea of terrible idea or bad decision, I don't think anyone would argue that this is a great idea. Although in our lexicon of terrible ideas, these things come to form when you're sitting around and you're talking about, think about the brand of Nike, right? Which is all about performance. It's all about the individual. It's all about like greatness and truly greatness, right? So you've got Michael Jordan and LeBron James, and you've got all of these legendary Nike sponsors or legendary Nike spokespeople. And then they launch this spot, which is like 60 seconds, I think, in the long form spot that they released of this overweight kid just running down a country road with this tagline that kind of comes up. This also sparked a lot of controversy, definitely around like, were you exploiting an overweight kid? Is this off brand? Regardless, man, this thing just created all kinds of excellent conversation. And I would hope for many, inspiring those who just never saw themselves fitting into the brand. So anyway, I just think that's great. One thing that I want to do is eventually start bringing video games a little bit more into this conversation. We are on Twitch after all. And if you aren't familiar with this story, Atari commissioned this licensed version of E.T. the Extraterrestrial, a game. It was a terrible game. It was so bad that they had to... Yeah, it was, Mrs. Duck, it was a bad game. Dr. Javasaurus, kill it with fire. Well, they tried. They actually put hundreds of thousands of copies of the Atari 2600 E.T. the Extraterrestrial game cartridges unopened in a giant landfill. And I think there's a documentary actually about people that went and unearthed this treasure now. And it's probably hard to get a hold of a copy of this, I would imagine. But interesting. Terrible idea, bad decision. Again, probably a little bit of both. Hopefully that was helpful. I'm interested in exploring this further with you guys, and I welcome any additional thoughts as we're kind of streaming through this. But I want to get to one really bad decision, and then I want your help on this. This is my 2012 Toyota Yaris. It's a beater, as we say. And you can see just in the distance the bar that I moved in next to. It's out on the street, has been for a long time. It's not really going anywhere. I need to figure out what to do with this Yaris. So what I'm going to ask you to do with me is come up with some terrible ideas for what I can do with the Yaris. Um, and as I've sort of softly committed, Magical Trevor, you just bought a 2008 Yaris. Well, hey, you might learn something here. Yeah, those wheel covers were a really bad decision. Yeah, those were AutoZone. Like, I think I probably should have some wheel covers. So great, bad decision alone on the wheel covers. So what do I do this? I'm at a point now where I'm prepared to donate the Yaris, which means it would, for whatever it's worth, that would all go to a charitable cause, which would be great. But what else could I do? And short of hurting someone or damaging property that I can't be directly responsible for, I'm taking ideas, terrible ideas for what to do with the 2012 beater Yaris. Find a scrap Yaris of the same make and buy a new rear fender. Yeah, so buy another quarter panel for probably like $50, and then put this back into service. That is a terrible idea. That sounds to me like I'm going to have to like contact people. I'm going to have to do some legwork. Terrible idea, Dr. Javasaurus. Thank you for being here. So awesome to have you. Put a wrap on the Yaris. Sell as outdoor media to the bar. My God, Jerry's Jug House Yaris wrap. Dave on bass. That's genius. Maybe I could just paint it with chalk surface, like chalkboard paint surface, and then they can just do drinks of the day, and they can just change it every single day. I like that. The wrap, the media wrap. Let's see. Okay, Dr. Jonosaurus. Okay, do you know the movie Dumb and Dumber? Cover it in fur carpet. I'm with you. I'm tracking. I know the movie. Cover it in fur carpet. Make it a driving doggy. Okay, so this could be like the pet groomer vehicle. All I need to do is somehow figure out how to cover it in fur. Okay. Not a bad idea. Pet vehicle. Parking in front of a monster tent. Bad decision. Yes. Thank you, Matthias. Also a bad decision. Monster tent. Man, let me tell you something. You can have fun in an outdoor bar, but you have monster fun at an outdoor bar when there's a monster tent. And it's proven. It's proven every Friday and Saturday night. Haunted Yaris tours. Make it a monster truck. Mrs. Duck, just get it into some competitions before it fades. Monster truck, sponsored by Monster. I see where you're going with this. Come on. You guys are Imagivate together. That's what the show is all about. Cut the top off and rent it out to other restaurants as outdoor seating. Okay, so this can actually become mobile overflow seating for COVID era restaurants. Okay, it's not a bad idea. By the way, excellent ghost exhibit over here across the street. Not a bad idea at all. Not a bad decision. Really nailing it there. Oh, Mrs. Duck, you got to go. Okay, catch your train. We'll catch you on the flip side. I'm so glad to have you here. And remember, Mrs. Duck, you can be anything you want to be. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. And also, I'm sorry I cannot send you money this week, but we'll talk through that. Internet daughter, I'm so proud of you. Write free candy on the top of the trunk. That's it. Okay. Free candy. That shouldn't cause any alarm in the neighborhood. All right, let me catch up on some of these. We've got it's a Northern Kentucky communal car. Keys stay in it. Fill the tank when possible. Okay, so it's like free zip car. It's a new sort of sharing economy startup. Free zip car. What could we call that? You guys start working on some names for our startup that is the free zip car, where I just leave it there and let people come grab it and drive it. Dr. Javasaurus says, weld a V shape at the front made of... Okay, here we go. We're getting very specific. Weld a V shape at the front made of 2-inch thick steel plates. Let it rust intentionally. Add steel spikes on the roof. Sell a zombie apocalypse survival kit. Okay, so we've got the big, giant metal, like, sort of zombie scooper up front. I don't think we need to let anything rust much more than it already has. I think we're probably on the way there. Okay, 79 seconds. Good morning and welcome. Congratulations. I don't know if you saw it or not. You had yesterday's most terrible idea. A new startup, Bloober. Bloober. Is that a name for our free zip car, or is that a new idea? I'd like to know. Destruction Derby guys might just buy this Yaris as is. Yep, I think you might be right about that. Um, let's see if oh, Mrs. Duck, sorry. Yeah, well, that's great. We'll see you tomorrow. That's awesome. Free rides. Free rides. Nice, Shepherd Josh. Freerides.com. Ridesies. Ridesies. Ridesies.net. How about Carfus.com? How are you guys going to get to the concert? Carfus. What's Carfus? It's a free car. It's Caris. Freus. Oh, that's getting pretty close. Caris. It's a free Yaris. What do you mean? I don't understand. Carfus is a free Yaris. It's your car? Nope. Nope. It's just on the street in Newport, Kentucky. I know, but our concert is in Indianapolis. Correct. I'm not tracking. Carfus. So I think this thing could go lots of places. Yep. Yar isn't. Yaris? Yar isn't. That's a good one. What Yar is and what Yar isn't is really in the eye of the beholder. Uris. That's a good one. Where is this your car? No, it's Uris. It's mine? No, Uris. I like that one a lot. Yarkar. That's really good. Guys, there's something about free rides that I think could be it could be a winner here. All right. Well, this is you have Yarkar Yarkar Binks. He's finally served his purpose. That's a great terrible name. All right. Well, okay. So right now, let's see. Dave on Base is also playing out a use case scenario. You taking your car or your car to the concert? That is a good one. You taking your car or your car? What? Yeah, that could be a little confusing depending on the regionality of viewers. Matthias says 2 versions, light side and darks. Ooh, and made people vote for it. Yeah, so maybe what I do is just paint right down the middle, and you've got dark side, light side. But maybe using that chalkboard paint, you could have people come up. Maybe what they do is they just they vote for it with ticks, right? Is it light side or dark side? Then what do I do? What do I do at the end if the winner is after a period of time? By November 30th, be sure to go to Yarkar and vote for dark or light side, because the winner is that I make it all dark side, and then I just go wrap it around a telephone pole somewhere at some point. That side takes over the whole car. Okay, that's good. That's a good one. With a Jar Jar face on the front, a la Dumb and Dumber car. Okay, yeah. So maybe we'd have to move the zombie scoop for a Jar Jar face. Maybe the Jar Jar face could be the scoop with the ears coming off. That's not a bad idea. Winner gets the car. Great. Winner gets the title and the legal obligation to have it moved off of the street. Like it a lot. Attach Sharpies all over the car and encourage the creation of street art. Little B Fat Brain knows this car very well. That's actually not a bad idea, especially since it's white. What else can we do because we have this white surface with as little possible? It's a white car with sort of a Tim Burton stitching on the side. Maybe I could continue that all the way across, and we could do like a Who Stole Hollow Christmas? What is that movie that he made? It's called The Haunting of the North. It's Coraline. That's what it is. We'll do a Coraline thing where it's like a Tim Burton stitching all the way across the car. Loser should get the car. Thank you, Thought Worst. That's actually probably really what. I mean, let's be honest. Whoever gets the car is a loser. That's what we're talking about with the Yaris. Let's see. Jack Skellington Halloween costume. Okay, Jack Skellington. That's what it's called. Jack Skellington's Halloween Christmas special. Is that? I get those confused. Jack Skellington's Christmas haunting review car. I like it. I think we could do a really good job with getting a loser to take this car with them. I think anybody in their right mind would want the idea of a free car, of a Yar car, of Yar car Binks. Park it, rent out as privacy booth. Privacy booth. Which means what I think you mean, because you just said it's the worst idea considering the cleanup. Yeah, I don't want to clean up somebody's privacy booth. I don't know what that means exactly, but I don't want to clean it up. Yep, that is a major U. Turn it into a real-life carjacking game where people can pay to practice stealing it. Ooh. You could do like, it could be like a themed event. Hey, having a bachelorette party? Come do hijacks. Hijacks, the carjacking simulator, the real life carjacking simulation. Hijacks, yarjacks, yarjics. Guys, look at what we did. This is a terror. It is. That's right. It's an escape car instead of an escape room. Holy cow! We might really be onto a solve. I don't know if we are or not, but all I can tell you is I'm really excited about how far we got. And you know why? Because we did it together. Look at this. We've got new friends that came in. Magical Trevor 2's sort of new. Dr. Javasaurus, welcome. We had Mrs. Duck chiming in, and we had, of course, all of our great cast of characters. Thoughtworth, 79 Seconds, Shepherd Josh, Dave on Bass 32, Little B Fat Brain. This is Imagivate Live, folks. You saw it in person, hopefully, through a stream of pixels. But together, we made it feel a little bit more human. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow, actually, with our great guest, Kristen Houston. I hope you will join us. We're going to talk about humans. We're going to talk about how to entertain humans. Why? What's the thinking behind them? What's in their hearts and minds? And we're going to then dig deep in exploiting that. Exploiting it to get to really terrible ideas, just like we did today. All right, gang, that's it. It's 9 o'clock, or it's 3 o'clock, wherever you might be. It's time to get to work. Go make some not terrible ideas, and I'm going to see you tomorrow morning.
Around. You be listening to my record, ain't number one sound. in the door. Rockin' with your girl. It ended in tears. Bitch back, go and bail that ear. Call in the middle of the night when I'm drinking. Almost on the corner, it's down and it's stinking. Said coming over, it was me that you missed. I do the touch that through a window, cause you know I got this. Your old lady left you and you went insane. You blew yourself up in the back of the 6 Take my advice at any price. A gorilla like your mother is fighting me. Sucked out pints until it didn't know. Woke up in the morning with the 1-ton hole. Cause I announced I like girls about with the weight that pays about £1 per ounce. Girls with curls and big long locks and beatnik chicks just wearing their smocks. Walking high and mighty like she's number one. She thinks she's the passionate one. Hey ladies, get